cannabis weed then?
Yeah,
So what is that then?
That's my mate grows it up in Scotland.
Right.
Sends me some bits now and I send him some products, but this is
But that's legal then, yeah?
no, this is not legal, no. This is illegal, this is. Oh, the knife.
Right folks, I'm in Swansea at the moment. The great reopening. I'll come back in a minute. I'm going to go outside and show the shop.
Yeah,
okay?
cool, bro.
Yeah, and do a bit of chatting and then come back in.
I had 2 cards on the go and I want to
Right folks, it's a great reopening today. I'm in Swansea at the moment and there's a shop that I want to show you. They are actually open, folks. Now, it's pretty amazing really. You would have thought the rest of the country would have decided to open. Now, this shop here, please share folks, I can't share. Obviously I'm on a share ban with Facebook, share it around the groups and everywhere. Well, it's meant to be the great reopening today. And not a lot of shops are opening. There is another one over there. That's a small cafe. And we have a CBD shop here in Swansea, folks. So I don't know what's happening around the country at the moment. Right, James. Right, Alison. Right, Debbie. If you could all start sharing, folks. So yeah, I'm in Swansea at the moment. It's meant to be the great reopening today. And this is the only one I could find locally in Wales. It's in Swansea. I don't mind saying that again. Like I said, there's a tea shop across there. This shop is very vital to people who have got cancer, stuff like that. They sell all sorts of stuff, CBD, coffee, tea. I'm just sitting down with a cold drink inside. But yeah, this is a CBD disciplinary. Could you please start sharing this? Because if you all know my story, that I had cancer 3 years ago, and these are the types of shops that can actually help you. I was terminally ill. I had 6 months to live, and these sort of places need to stay open for health reasons. It's spot on. They've got their own cannabis farm in, I'm not sure. I'll speak to the owner now. I'll take you in and we'll have a little chat. They have had one of the COVID people pop in, but that was all fine. That was. But they said all sorts of stuff. If you can see. Now, all these types of shops, these are important. They're all important to the business in Wales. They pay our taxes. So, hey.
Good to see you, mate. Good.
This is the owner here. What's your name again?
Adrian.
This is Adrian. He's the owner of the shop. What's made you open today?
Well, excuse me. I've been open right from the start, mate. From like when they first locked down, I didn't bother. I just carried on. They told me I had to shut my shop because I sell CBD and it wasn't an essential. I put coffee in and it becomes an essential, so we did. And then we shut over Christmas because it was so quiet in town, nobody's out. So we're open today because the great reopening's
Supposed to be.
allegedly taking place, guys.
Yeah. Well, it only seems to be you that's open in Swansea.
So I just have to
and a cafe across the road, but the cafe across the road is only a takeaway.
yeah, they do Boom Boom Tea. They've been open. They never closed again.
Yeah.
Seems the cafe in the corner never closed. But they're all implementing the restrictions as well, which I wouldn't put them on my own personal being or family, so I definitely wouldn't push them onto people because I know I'm breaking the law when I do that.
Could you tell me what type of products that you actually sell in the shop? Because a lot of people know my story, that I suffered cancer. I had terminal cancer.
Yeah.
and I went down of curing myself. So how does your products help other people?
Yeah, well, I did the same. I got into my products for curing myself, mental health, severe mental health issues, and then I got into plant medicine. So what we sell is CBD, and because I couldn't get any sense in Britain about this, about the industry, and there was a lot of misleading information, I went to the States and started farming it myself in Oregon. So we ship all our products directly off the farm, which is CBD in all its varieties.
Is that your own farm?
Mushrooms.
Is that your own farm?
My friend, you can't own the farm legally because it's illegal here. You can't actually own a THC farm, but we invest and work together up there. So he's got his farm, I got this here, we conjoined. So I say mine, it's more of an artistic license. And then we do medicinal mushrooms, which is amazing for cancer treatment, particularly turkey tails, lion's mane for Alzheimer's, cordyceps, cardiovascular gains, and then you've got antiviral mushrooms, which, considering the present climate, I thought I'd be sold out, but we're not.
Well, you would have thought so, because a lot of people, with the COVID...
let's call it coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2.
Well, I would say pandemic, but...
Well, COVID certificate of vaccination identification 19, I've said it right from the start, so that's an acronym. It doesn't exist as a virus. SARS-CoV-2 exists as a virus. That is fact. So let's stop calling it COVID. I mean, back down me, but for people out there.
Yeah, that's right. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people aren't getting diagnosed with cancer. They're not getting treatment for cancer. It's not just cancer, it's stroke, it's heart disease. The biggest killer in the world is heart disease. But then you've got closely followed by cancer.
And then do you know what number 3 is? Iatrogenesis.
Is it?
Death by doctor. Fact.
Is it?
Cause of death in the world, iatrogenesis. Fact check me.
Yeah.
I'll have a look at that.
So you're right, cancer, mental health. Mental health is health.
Well, what I found is, during the COVID, they're not mentioning about the suicides.
No,
the mental health.
Practically, I would call a suicide. There's an older lady, 84, that lives next door to me, where I live, lovely little village, and she was having chest problems. And we said to her, why didn't you go to the doctors? And she wouldn't come out of the house. She wouldn't go to the doctors because she was too scared and died of a heart attack. Now that is almost a suicide. She was too scared. It was a forced suicide. But what the government is doing by scaring people out of going to the hospital.
This is what they do.
And then this is what I'm going to say, by reducing the numbers of the hospitals that we have, we are now overrun, but we're only overrun because 1 in 10 wards are open. You see, the hospital capacity has gone down, that's why we're overrun, but we're not overrun, we're overrun to the capacity that we've lowered it to. That's interesting.
We'll go on to what would you say to local businesses?
I don't know. I mean, I've got one.
Would you tell them to open, or would you tell them to stay shut?
I wouldn't tell anybody to do anything. That's my personal belief. My stand on it is that there's a lot more going on. There are viruses on the planet. There is flu. There are all these different things. I get that. We're not going to get rid of them. What seems to be happening at the moment is people are waiting until we stop dying. You're not going to stop dying. We're all going to die at some point. And all that's happening outside is in the news and that. They're telling you, don't do this or you'll die faster. But you'll forget to live if you're not careful. So the shopkeepers, we have done this. The government have not done this. They've handed down guidelines and you've mistaken it as law, and you've taken, almost some of you, godlike power, and you've not let it go. And now we have created this system of mask wearing and keeping away from each other. We have done it, not the police. We have done it, the people, the shopkeepers. We've closed our shops. We did it. You have power. They've taken it off in the guise of authority. And that's the difference.
What I think is the shopkeepers have consented.
They've consented, and I get it. It's a scary thing when you scare people with their health, which is a heinous thing to do. keenness, and if they are scaring people with their health, to bring in an economic system that's going to start propping up their way of life by jeopardising ours, then, you know, what are we acquiescing to? That's all I ask. Ask yourself a question. But as for local businesses, I know what I would do. I've done it. I spent all my grant on developing my shop, not going out buying myself a new car. I used it in a shop. Guess what? Nobody was around. So I've jumped through every hoop. Spent up to nearly 15,000 extra just to be a nice coffee shop. And now I can't have one customer in here apparently, but I can have 10 builders in here at once to do work. How does that make sense? I thought this was about saving lives. It's not. It's about destroying businesses. It's about destroying like they did with the farmers. I grew up through the mining strike. They did it with the foot and mouth. Miners going back. They're doing it with small businesses. I know people who lost their parents, blew their brains out over the farming thing. It's happening now. I know a 12-year-old kid that was committed suicide the other day because he didn't know why else he wanted to live. I have a 12-year-old daughter. I was up until 2 o'clock this morning talking to her because of her fears. Thanks, Boris.
Yeah, exactly. Boris was a distraction as far as I'm concerned.
All of it is a distraction. I'm convinced of it. The fact we're even calling this a vaccine. A vaccine, you know what I'm talking about? It isn't. One of them needs protein inside it to be definitively called by them. This is a treatment because it only has pathogen in it. Within a fat particle called nanoparticle. Stop calling it a vaccine, it's not a vaccine. They are calling it a treatment. Listen to the news, they mentioned firstly, the first one was COVID-19, SARS-CoV-2 was the first one. They never ever mentioned SARS-CoV-2 again. They call it COVID-19 all the way through. Why? Ask yourself. Listen to the words your media are using and casting over your minds and turning the bloody television off and listen to men like this.
Yeah, exactly. I would like to see Swansea fully open because, as far as I'm concerned, the small businesses are the ones that are never ever going to open again.
Well, I've got 3 businesses. I've lost one business during lockdown. It's gone. Yeah. And that was turning over a lot of money when I was running it properly. This one won't go. We'll be fine. We'll make sure. And I've got another little one that is touch and go. And that's like that, you know. It's a self-build thing.
Yeah, yes, Carrie. Respect to the man. There's a lot of good support here. At the end of the day, what you've done is you've opened up a business. You've reopened it and said sod the system because the system is fucked.
Sod the system. I think we've all got an internal custom. The system isn't. The system isn't fucked. The system is working like a Swiss watch for somebody.
Yeah, for the government.
For we, the
elite. For the elite.
Need to reset the world as we need. Who are the we?
Yeah.
Who are the we?
The 1%.
And they talk about, well, it's obvious. We have to start looking at the etymology they're using and the word magic they're using on you. And we have the television, it's called a broadcast. What you cast? Spells. Words are spells, man. Stop listening to what they're saying.
Yeah, and a television is
and you keep calling it a vaccine and it'll become a vaccine. It's not a vaccine. Yeah. It is a treatment. And it is... Let me explain it to you. Am I got time to explain it?
Yeah.
If you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
The vaccine will have protein in it.
I'll get banned for this, Mike.
Body, will you? Try not to talk about it then.
No, go on. Talk
Let's
about.
Not talk about it.
I've had enough 30-day bans, and I've got enough profiles. You're okay.
A friend of mine makes them, so you can fact check me. This is fascinating. You shouldn't be banned for this anyway. This is a fact. My friend's a virologist. Right? He's in Australia now making them. He was in California making them. It's a fact. What's coming into your body is a messenger RNA, which you already produce. If you produce too much of that in your DNA, guess what that's called? Autoimmune disease. AIDS, fibromyalgia, that type of thing. You've got more messages coming in a fat parcel with pathogens targeting every single cell in your body, hoping to raise antibodies because we all have a virus where we have no antibodies as fighting it. Why? because the test isn't picking up a virus, it's picking up your old debris from a cold you had a long time ago. Finding no antibodies, something wrong, you need to inject it.
All right, Gareth.
No, you don't.
You're Swansea, mate.
Yeah. Your antibodies raise the fight, so we have T-cell immunity after that happens. You do not need a treatment to create more messenger RNA in your system for no reason. It's a fact. So it is not one of them. It is a treatment. Fact check. It's interesting.
Yeah,
it is interesting.
Yeah, it is very interesting.
And the words they're using.
Yeah.
Piers Morgan and I now arguing, and everyone's throwing Boris under the bus. Going, oh, Boris, you killed 100,000. Boris hasn't killed 100,000 people. He's a guy's a buffoon, right? Like the rest of them. Nobody, would you want that job? I jumped ship. But what's fascinating is now Boris is getting thrown under the bus, which he would, and Matt Hancock, and they deserve to be thrown under the bus.
Well, they actually betrayed the people.
Everybody's betrayed. Tony Blair, though, betrayed the people, and now he's back in power again somehow. Tony Blair's weaseled his way back in, guys, war criminal. So let's talk about...
Spot on.
But they are, aren't they? They're war criminals, the most despicable criminals get into government head-ins. But what you got, they're throwing him under the bus, going, you haven't done the vaccine quick enough for the road. Well, yeah, we're missing the point. We're getting so angry at Boris that we're missing the point that the argument
Right,
is get the vaccine quicker, get the vaccine quicker. That's what concerns me. Slow it down a bit and let's see what it does to people.
Yeah, that spot on.
Let's not have a live thing on my children, thank you very much.
As far as I'm concerned, all these politicians who are in power, they're corrupt.
Eating mess.
They're corrupt. They're treasonous. They've committed genocide, and they have committed genocide by closing all of their businesses, by not people diagnosing people with different diseases and they're dying. There's suicides in this country. They have committed genocide.
But they make us remember it. Look, I'm not being horrible, right?
They try to
do it
blame
every
us.
year on November the 11th, guys, a poppy. We remember them sending my ancestors to war, shitting and pissing themselves, crying for their mothers at 16, thrown into a war. For what? Because people couldn't stop lying to each other. Government officials, and they send us in once they sit in their bunkers and we fight the wars. And guess what they get? Oh, we made a brilliant clean-up job after World War II. No, you caused the thing in the first place. And then you want credit for cleaning it up. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, as far as I can say, like, yeah, well, the House of Commons was meant to be for the common people. It's not called the House of Elite. The working class people are meant to be in that building, running this country, not the elite. And this is where we've gone wrong. We've let them into the building where they should all be stuck in the House of Lords, and we should have banned the House of Lords shouldn't be there anyway.
But they got you stuck between the devil and the deep blue sea. We all know common law, and we all know that we have two laws. Don't do any harm to another and settle your affairs, pay your bills, in other words, settle your debts. Don't do any harm to another person, settle your debts. So the only two laws that we have. The rest is colour of law. It's pretend law in front of the local legalese. But we know, and out shouting on the protest, we're free. Give us our fucking freedom back. Well, hang on. I thought you were free. Go and take it.
Yeah.
Just take your freedom and open your shop. Go about your business.
There's lots of people afraid.
Yeah, no. Of what? Dying? You're going to die, people. It's a horrible fact. I've lost people. Died myself 3 times. Misspent youth. Right?
Slap.
We talked about it this morning, right?
We did earlier on.
We go into die. You can't beat death, but you can beat death in life.
Yeah.
Right? And that's by you learn to accept the fact it's going to happen, and then you fucking live. But you keeping you down and dead. You're dead. Your life's gone, and pick it up and start living for today. Sorry.
It's just to let everybody know, this is part of the great reopening of shops, and this guy Adrian, he's got a CBD shop in Swansea, and he's opened it up, and good on him. Good on him. He's making a stand. He's helping people at the end of the day, and there's lots of people out there who actually need his help. How many people do you get would have normally come through your shop?
No, normally up until Christmas. I mean, we haven't changed anything. I've hugged the people I would normally hug. I've hugged the people that would ask for a hug. I've got a young lady that can be young, you know who she is. She comes in here, she's very lonely. She'll come in every morning. She'll sit with me, she'll cry. I'll sit with her and hold her hand. And she says, can you hold my hand? And that's every morning. I haven't been able to do that, guys.
Yeah, that's Adrian, that is.
Right? I haven't been able to do that, and that's the truth. She comes in here, the guys off the streets come in here. I had to turn one away the other day, he's pissing down the rain, but I couldn't let him in. It's just... Yeah, but look, 9 million a year die of starvation and more die of suicide as well. 9 million. That costs money to put right, that has to come from the top. And we're worrying about what?
Folks, what I've just realised, we are not on public, so what I'll do is I'm going to start this over again, and we're not going to do say everything again. What we're going to do is talk about different things about the shop, but I'm going to make sure that this post is on public. Okay, folks, because we need to get it out there, we need it shared, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, guys.